Hey, Sea Milk.
Yo, dog.
Apparently we have to turn in 1.8 miles onto a road called Old Lady Springs Road.
I don't know what to think about that. I hope it's not like a bunch of hot springs and there's like old naked ladies in it.
I know, that's what
That would be
that's what
awkward.
conjures up in my mind, actually.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's kind of awkward, and so we're going to talk about our most awkward experiences that we've had in China, you know, kind of during our travels, and thought maybe you could start out.
Okay, you really put me on the spot
I
here.
do that, you know.
I mean, I was gonna ease into it, but it's mostly gonna revolve around shady stuff.
So many like tweakers and stuff running around.
Dude, it's desert town. Something about deserts.
Yeah, deserts and drugs, I don't know, and leathery people.
We've come to the conclusion that people that live in the desert turn into leather and they do meth.
It seems that way. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, sorry, awkward stuff, yeah.
This is a very general one, but I think it's very poignant for someone that's never been to China. By the way, you can tell a town is shit if they have America's Best Value Inn and Suites.
Okay.
I stayed at one of those and I literally got my room broken into.
Okay, it can't be
And
that
then they
bad. There's an AutoZone and a foot massage.
Anyway, yeah, that's not in China. Anyway, so we've always talked about how prevalent prostitution is. And when I say prevalent, it's not one of those things where, yeah, okay, there's lots of brothels and all this kind of stuff. When I say prevalent, I mean a lot of people participate.
Yeah, like I'd say most men.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I used to get this shit from Vivian. She was like, you're just hanging out with bad people. And I was like, okay. And then I would hang out with her friends.
Yeah.
Like, you know, college graduates that work at good jobs, and they did the exact same shit. It's just that she doesn't know.
Yeah, they keep it on the down low, you know.
Right.
Like,
You're not going to take a chick to go get wanked off.
No.
You know.
Absolutely.
So, this is something Winston and I have never been a fan of, and I think it's this, like, it might be like a moral superiority thing.
Yeah.
I know how dastardly like the sex trade is in China because a lot of it's unwilling. It's not women that just go into it.
There's a lot of human trafficking involved and stuff, so it's actually not good.
Yeah, and I have to preface this by saying I'm not against sex work. I don't care. I think it should be legal.
Sure.
But the problem is the fact that it's so illegal in China, it makes it more prevalent in a way.
Yeah, it's super illegal, and so
Right.
it's all underground, and it's all like bad, basically.
Yeah, so anyway, you go out to dinner with your buddies, and this is only bro time, right?
Yeah.
You can go out with your Chinese buddies, and I'll use Inner Mongolia as an example.
Okay.
People say, oh, Vivi say, oh, it's just up in Inner Mongolia. Nope,
Nonsense,
no.
it's more down in the
anything,
south.
it's more common where I lived in the south.
Yeah.
So what would happen is you go with your friends, you drink some baijiu, eat some barbecue, drink some beers, right? And every single time,
Yeah.
after people get tipsy, you all pile into the car. Someone's driving drunk, not me.
Yeah. Hey, look, it's Old Woman Springs Road.
Hey, Old Woman Spring.
Yeah, sorry, anyway, continue, yeah.
So you'd go and you'd go to these roads, right?
Yeah.
And it was very different than southern China. You'd go to these roads and you know those like chifangs, you know, like kind of where we had our shop?
Yeah.
You have these like kind of metal shutter type doors that open up into like a garage looking thing.
That's right.
But what would happen is around 8 or 9 o'clock, there would be an entire street, and this is downtown,
right?
You just get off the main area, you know, the common neon signs you see in China and stuff.
Sure.
You take a left onto one of these kind of smaller roads, but right off the main road.
Yeah.
And all of these shuttered doors would open up, and you'd see the pink lights kind of glowing out. It's the most eerie thing. It's like these pink lights and all these drunk people pulling over their cars and kind of stumbling into these places.
Sure.
And what would happen is if I didn't go with them, then it's almost like a peer pressure thing. Like everyone's gonna do it.
Yeah.
And if I don't go with them, then I kind of am this untrustworthy outlier.
Yeah, you might rat them out or something. It's kind of like the one
like
person's not drinking and like makes everyone feel uncomfortable.
You know when everyone's talking shit and like it's stuff you probably wouldn't say normally?
Yeah.
Because everyone's drunk and it's fine.
Yeah.
That one sober dude that's kind of like judging everyone.
Yeah, it's not fun, right?
So at least you have to go, and they were always very confused. But I became like the weird guy that just didn't do it when they would go.
Yeah.
So I'd go to these places, and they'd all pile in, and they'd line up the girls, and they'd pick one, and I would always be present for that.
Sure.
And it was so awkward because these shitty little rooms, they're not like well sound insulated or anything.
No, it's just a tiny little room, yeah.
Yeah, they'd have some shit like drama on a TV show and these gross couches.
Yeah.
And I would sit there and smoke cigarettes waiting for my friends to finish up.
Yeah.
And because they're drunk, they take forever and they have to add more time.
Right.
So they get like a half an hour. And it was very interesting because I would see the kind of women, and sometimes there would be like Mongolian women.
Yeah.
That can't speak Chinese.
Okay.
Because they're from Outer Mongolia and they obviously got smuggled in.
Gotcha.
Sometimes there'd be like half white Russian mixed with Chinese
I guess,
women.
yeah, because you're up north there, eh?
Yeah.
Hey, look, a Supra. Mark 3.
Oh, Mark 3, nice.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, yeah.
But that part was interesting, not awkward. The awkward part is when I hear my friends banging
Yeah.
these prostitutes, and I'm just sitting there trying to make small talk with these women that have just been banged.
Yeah, that's really gross.
And then they go in there chatting about it afterwards, and I haven't participated, so there's no camaraderie there.
Sure.
And I'm just drunk, like waiting for them to finish, and they get a ride home.
Yeah, okay.
And it's one of those things, it doesn't sound that awkward, but it really is.
It is awkward, come on. It's
Because
really...
you're listening to that.
I know, it's not cool. That just reminded me because, you know, Shenzhen obviously opened up as a special economic zone. And I've said this before, I think that China's economy was built on prostitution in the beginning. Because whole industries cropped up around it in Shenzhen because all the rich Hong Kongers coming over the border. So it's getting the slow lane, too much wind noise. What would happen is rich Hong Kongers would come over and you've got all these like spas basically, and they're everywhere in Shenzhen, and they're basically just massive brothels. And what happens is you get a massage there, but obviously you don't get just a massage, you get a lot more. Oh yeah, slow down please, you're disappearing in the distance. Okay. So you get a lot more than just a massage, obviously, you know, that's the beginning of it all, and then you pick the girl and they've got rooms and stuff and whatever. They got lots of stuff going on, but there's tons of these like spas everywhere. But then there are also entire villages built up around second wives, which are basically just mistresses for these rich Hong Kong guys.
Yeah.
So they would, you know, the rich Hong Kong guy would come on the weekend and spend time with his mistress. He's bought a house for her there or paying for her rent. And then during the week she'll just indulge in other like prostitution or whatever. Now the thing is, when I first got to China, one of the things that blew me away was how cheap you could get a foot massage. Okay, and I used to love that so much that almost every other day, me and my friends, we'd go get a foot massage. Because you get drunk and you go to these like little spa things, and usually there's dodgy stuff going on upstairs, but you can go downstairs and they've got different girls who do the foot massages, right? They're not prostitutes. So it's kind of cool, and it costs like 35 RMB, and it's like 45-minute foot massage, and they give you like
for $5.
I know, they give you like the hot salts rub on your leg thing, and you know, it's really cool. And you sit there and they wash your feet, give you a nice foot massage, you watch TV, they give you a free coffee or a tea or whatever. So I used to do this every other day. Anyway, when my parents came to visit me for the first time in China, I wanted to show this to them, right? So I took them and we got foot massages. It was awesome, and my dad was like, you know, my back's really hurting, is there a place where I can get a back massage? So I'm like, yeah, sure, of course. So I was looking around, just trying to find a place, and it's hard, because if any of these places you go in for an actual massage, like 9 times out of 10 they're going to want to try to jerk you off.
Sure.
You know, happy ending.
I mean, they don't want to. It's just part of it.
It's just part of the thing. Like, well, no, they do want to, because they charge you extra, right?
Sure.
So, like, you've been in that situation. You're getting a normal massage, and they start, you know, touchy-feely, and like, oh, yeah, this needs a massage too. It's healthy, you know, just add another 80 RMB or whatever, you know the thing. So I didn't want that, obviously. I don't want my dad having to deal with that, right?
No, because he can't speak Chinese.
And it's awkward, right? Like my dad's not into that stuff. It's weird.
No. We don't think.
No, he totally isn't. I know he isn't.
No,
so,
I'm joking.
Yeah. So, I mean, and also even worse, they will try to solicit prostitution, you know?
Yeah.
So I searched everywhere, and I asked everyone I knew, look, is there like a clean one of these places I could take my dad to? And they were like, yeah, sure, go to this one. And I'd been there before, and I thought it was clean too, but I'd only ever been there for the foot massage.
Yeah.
So anyway, I take him there, and it's a whole spa thing, you know, where you go and you first sit in like a steam room sauna, and they've got like those big communal pools where you can, like,
Yeah.
you know the place. So we do all that. We go up into the rooms to get a massage, 2 separate massages and stuff. Anyway, he comes out afterwards. He's like, "Yeah, I mean, it was okay, but all she wanted to do was massage my nipples." And I'm like, "Oh man," because you know what that's like. They think that's a turn on for guys.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I hate that.
Me too. It's so
I'm not a
uncomfortable.
woman.
It's so uncomfortable.
It feels bad.
Yeah, it totally does. So yeah, that was my first awkward experience. I had to explain to him kind of what was going on there. You know, nothing dodgy happened, but she was trying to push for that, obviously.
Whoa, this is
Yeah,
crazy.
This is awesome over here. I love it. I don't think it'll come out on camera how cool it is.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, that kind of
You
stuff
get that
happens.
when you walk around China, especially if you go to like touristy areas. And I'm not talking about Western touristy areas, like touristy areas for Chinese people.
Sure.
You'll get that hand gesture a lot from like old men in the street that will lead you into some like really dodgy,
dude.
horrible
Dude,
scenario.
I used to live in the red light district of Shenzhen,
Right.
Shaozuai village, and if you walked around there at night, just the obscene gestures from these pimps, dude. Because
Yeah.
they have guys or girls out on the street that are just there, usually guys, and their whole job is to just kind of like get you to come into their establishment.
Sure.
And they were all brothels. Like, they cleaned that shit up eventually, but like every single establishment there was a brothel. You
Right.
know, had a little foot massage thing in the front as like a front, but upstairs
Yeah.
it's just like where you go.
Right.
I got a lot of stories from that time, and I guess I'll get through them eventually all at some point. But yeah, there's a lot of awkward things happen, man.
I went for a drunken haircut once. This is also in Baotou.
Right.
And you know what's funny is it's a regional thing. So the fronts in Shenzhen
Yeah.
are usually foot massage places.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you do get the barbershops too in the small villages, but yeah.
Yeah, but that's like the go-to one, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I was walking around with another white friend,
Yeah,
and I would literally just wanted like the sides and the back of my hair trimmed.
right.
And it was nighttime, and I was like, "Oh, this is open." And they thought I was insane. They were like, because this is like when I first got there,
Yeah.
they thought I was insane that I'm sitting down this barber chair and I'm like making gestures to cut my hair.
Right, right.
And they actually kind of played dumb, and they're like, "No, no, no," and they actually left. And then all my Chinese friends laughed so hard.
Yeah, yeah,
But
exactly.
this is another awkward thing. So when I was teaching up there in university,
Yeah,
I would say out of all of my students, I had 2 males. Okay.
okay.
And because males were not usually language majors.
Sure.
You know how that is in China, right?
Yeah,
So I had 2 guys, and one of them was a super poor guy from this coal town. And he loved me, and he loved speaking English, and he was one of those kind of language rapists.
oh, gotcha, yeah.
He was a nice kid though, but he this is before I knew how prevalent this was. So he would get like a little bit. His dad died in a coal mining accident, so his mom would send him like a really little amount of money.
Right.
But he was on full scholarship because he did so well in high school in English. But anyway, he'd get like a very small stipend, and he would run out of money for food.
Yeah.
And one time he came up to me like totally confidently. He's like, "I will totally pay you back, but can I have like 100 RMB so I can buy some food at the canteen?" And I was like, "Well, what happened? Like, where'd all your money go?" He's like, "Oh, I spent it all on prostitutes." And I was like, "Okay." And then he's like, "What? It's normal, but yeah, I shouldn't waste my money on that." And he's like, "I always go once a week to go to the bathhouse because he doesn't have a shower."
Right.
They got shower ration tickets.
Yeah, yeah.
And he'd go to the bathhouse and get his back scrubbed. And then you go to the 4th floor and you pay like 50 RMB and have sex with a prostitute. And I found out that almost all of my male students throughout the couple of years, they always went there, and it was like next to my favorite restaurant.
Oh, man.
So whenever I saw guys going in there, I knew what it was. And then when I made my motorcycle buddies, they would always go to the bathhouse. And for them, I asked them, even the most innocent, sweetheart guys that I was riding with, they'd go there and have sex like after they had their shower.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's so normal. It's like eating and drinking.
I know, that's something that blew me away when I got to China. It's just the prevalence of prostitution everywhere. And what's crazy about it is the fact that it's so illegal there.
Right.
You know?
But that's the thing, is regulation doesn't work a lot of times, especially in a place where regulation is so hard to control
Yeah.
because it's always top down.
Well, I mean, it just taught me what China's all about right in the beginning.
Yeah.
Is that China's just a facade, you know?
It is,
It's
it is.
all the things that they pretend to be is not true.
like a moral, pristine society.
Oh, we're so moral. We ban pornography.
Right.
We ban all this, but yet, like, you going out with government officials for a meeting, and they're trying to take you to prostitutes. Government officials.
Right.
You know, it's not like scummy random truckers or something that you're hanging out with. It's government officials, it's businessmen, it's just the friends you make. You know what really pisses me off the most? Can I just say this? Is when you get introduced to people through your girlfriend or your wife or something.
Yeah.
And then they try to take you to prostitutes.
Isn't it so awkward?
What's wrong with these people? You know,
I know.
It's like, you know my wife or you know my girlfriend and you're trying to take me to prostitutes. You're trying to make me cheat on my girlfriend that you know that's your friend.
But your girlfriend or wife, they don't know.
I know, but I mean, I hate the fact that they try to do that to you, you know?
Right.
This is a cool road, by the way. I really like this road. Yeah.
If it wasn't so windy, this would be like one of the coolest roads I've ever been on.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. Loving it out
Scary.
Yeah.
I hate these blind
Me too, because you don't know, what is it going to turn all of a sudden? Or
Right.
I guess if you know the road, you can start really ripping.
I don't know if I've told this story. It's a bit dicey.
Okay.
Very awkward. This is my first 2 months in China, right?
Right.
I go to the bar. There's this place called, we used to call it Qingdao Bar, just because it didn't have a name. It just had a sign for Qingdao.
Gotcha.
And you could get like Qingdao, you get like a 12 Qingdao beers for like, I don't know, $8 or some shit.
Yeah.
And then they give you some cucumbers with wasabi and dice, and that's just what we did. It was cheap.
Yeah, you play the Schweitzer or whatever.
Yeah, and oftentimes I would see my students' parents, and these kids were like maybe in middle school. I would see my students like their dads.
Okay.
One might call them dads.
Right, right.
Male parents.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You've been in California too long.
Yeah. So yes. So you go to these places, and they, of course, they see their kid's teacher, and they want to drink with you.
Yeah.
And one of the guys, his daughter was my student. She was a real sweet girl. She was probably about 10. And he sat down to drink with us, playing dice and all this kind of stuff, and he's getting drunk. And then this is the first time I was invited out for prostitutes, right?
Right.
And he was super upfront about it. So how awkward is it that I teach your 10-year-old daughter, and then you invite me out like so nonchalantly, I'm fresh off the boat, to go like really nearby. And my friend was there with me, and this guy had this fixation on like how young the girls were. And he's like, no, don't worry, like they're super pretty and super young. And then my friend's like, how young? And he's like, you know, you can have an 18-year-old, you can do this and stuff. We just bound.
No, that's terrible.
That's how nonchalant it was. And this guy, by the way, he was a government official.
Okay, makes sense.
And it's so entrenched.
Yeah, it's entrenched and it's debauchery, and it happens everywhere. I really wish people would see through the bullshit, you know? China's a different place. Like, the prostitution's everywhere. Like, dude, those prostitute cards that keep getting shoved under your door at the hotels, the fact that they've got stickers, how do they get away with that?
I don't know.
It's got the phone number, you know.
Well, they get away with it because it's all intertwined with the cops, the officials. They allow it to happen because they do it. Yeah,
I mean, it's literally, you've got yourself an advert advertising that you're doing something incredibly illegal.
Yeah.
With your phone number.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Out in the open.
Yes, come on, give us a call so you can get prostitution. You know, it's ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I can't stand the apologists who try to pretend that kind of thing doesn't happen.
It's everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, we got probably tons more awkward stories, so we could make this a series. So, yeah, I think let's leave it at this one. Is there anything you'd like to tell our subscribers before we sign off?
I hope you guys are dealing with the wind noise okay. This is spectacular out here, though.
Yeah,
it's very beautiful.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm glad we filmed it.
Yeah, and I hope you guys are enjoying the ride and the stories. I like these kind of videos, the stories and stuff.
Me too, I think it's fun.
But I hope you guys weren't too shocked, and I appreciate you guys, and I hope we see you on the next episode.
Yeah, absolutely, and whether or not you have a straight moral compass or a skew one, we love you all the same. And until next time, you know the drill. As always, like the scenery, stay awesome.
Thank you so much for watching, guys, and don't forget we have a new schedule, which means a new ADV China video every single Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Not only that, you can check out a Lao 86 video at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday. And don't forget, Friday, just before the weekend, time to crack open a beer. You can watch a Serpents at A video, also 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So don't forget, every week you get 3 videos from us.